Good afternoon. Accomplished graduates, family members, and friends, award recipients, distinguished faculty and colleagues, Chancellor Motley, Provost Longley, Senior Associate Dean for Graduate Studies and Graduate Admissions, Steffi Hartwell. My name is Zhongguo Xia, Vice Provost for Research and Strategic Initiatives and Dean of Graduate Studies. I welcome you to the 2013 Graduate Convocation Awards ceremony. First, I would like to introduce our stage party, Senior Associate Dean of Graduate Studies and Graduate Admissions, Steffi Hartwell. I would like to invite the student speaker, Christian Chen, to the stage. Provost Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Winston Longley. And our charismatic Chancellor, J. Keith Motley. Now it's my great honor to invite Chancellor Motley to deliver the greetings of the university.
So, you passed your last test. I watched you. You made it to your seats. I love it. That was amazing to watch. But you did it. Just like some of those moments that you were having trying to get through some of this, and now you've sort of made it. And we're so grateful for it. Good afternoon, everybody. As Chancellor, I am so pleased to welcome all of our guests here to our university, your university, the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Our honored guests this afternoon include our deans, our administrators, our provost and vice chancellor for academic affairs, Winston Longley, and our chancellor's medal for international peace and reconciliation recipient, Ari Nalmuddin Mohammed Jabari, who is here with us as well today. Our students, families, loved ones, and friends, you are also our honored guests. Now, it's kind of cool in here today, but tomorrow morning, remember, I see you've dressed to impress tonight or this afternoon, but tomorrow, we won't mind if you dress down just a little bit to stay cool out there, because it's going to be 90-something, even out on this beautiful waterfront where the wind blows off the ocean and just makes you smile every day. Tomorrow, I want you to smile for about 2.5 hours. Then that sun about noontime is going to be out there chasing you. So dress, have that water, all those kinds of things. You're our honored guest tonight, along with all those who are graduating. Thank you for joining us to honor the accomplishments of our recipients of advanced degrees tonight. And to those recipients, I say congratulations to you. Congratulations to every single one of you. We're honored to be in your presence. This is what it's all about for us, to see you begin and then to see you keep growing and developing, because this is only just another beginning for you. Another beginning to show off everything that you've learned and added to your learning while you were here, but more importantly, to go and contribute and do all those wonderful things that you've been doing and thinking about doing. This is your day, and tomorrow will also be your day. You have earned this celebration. Now let us pause to thank and honor those without whom this work, we would not be able to be here. In spite of all of your abilities, our deans and our faculty, both on the stage and in the audience, please rise and be recognized. All of our faculty. That's what I love about being here as one of their colleagues. These kind of events matter, and you see their presence, not just robed, but some of them were trying to sneak in among you in the audience just so they could be here as part of today. So thank you all for all that you do. All of you graduates are proof that we are fulfilling our mission as a university to provide an excellent education at this city's great public research university. You're also testaments to your own hard work and all of your commitment and the support of our faculty and of our staff. Each of you is special and accomplished in your own ways. And I wish I could tell you all about all the stories that are here in this room, but right now, I would like to recognize just a couple of you as representatives of the excellence of our program and of your class, the mighty class of 2013. Christian Chan, who is our student speaker today, has been deeply involved in our campus community beyond his rigorous academics. Christian served on the Graduate Student Assembly, created a student services organization, and mentored students on campus and in our community, all while studying the psychological effects of Hurricane Katrina on underserved populations in New Orleans. Christian graduates today with his doctorate in clinical psychology. Congratulations to you. During Kristen Hill's time in our Master of Fine Arts program, she stayed on campus all summer long to coach undergraduate students in creative writing, organizing poetry slams, and pouring her heart into their success. Not just her success, but making sure they understood what it meant to be successful. All this while writing the kind of beautiful poetry that won her award today. She's done such a wonderful job with everything that we've asked her to do that we're keeping her around here for another semester to teach. Today, Kristen receives her Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. Congratulations to you. I'm so proud of the caliber of students like Kristen and also Kristen that's here, and that they are attracted to a program like the ones that we have at this university. I'm proud of all of you, many in varied academic achievements on this campus. Thank you for that diversity. Thank you for all of those interests that you have. But more importantly, thank you for contributing in the way that you have. Your research and your scholarship bring a claim to this university and help us deliver on our commitment and outreach and engagement as a university community. Because you chose to continue your studies with us, you had to know that you would be focusing not only inward on your own research, but outward towards initiatives and projects and ideas that will improve our communities and our world. You had to know that you would be called on not only to participate in our existing programs, but to spot new opportunities that could be used to engage our neighbors and our neighborhoods. You had to know that you were studying and working in service to others, that your scholarship and outreach would touch the worlds of politics and public policy, the sciences, healthcare, education, management, arts, and culture, and so on, and so on, and so on. And because you have spent this time with us, you are in position, graduates, holders of advanced degrees, not just to get a job, but to change this world. As Chancellor, I encourage you to do so in a way that uniquely distinguishes you as a graduate of our great public university. We are incredibly proud of all of you and all that you have achieved. All that you've achieved prior to coming to this university, but all that you've achieved since you've been here at this university. We look forward to hearing from you. We love to hear about your future successes. Every now and then, take the time to let us know. It makes a difference. You see, all these people that invested their lives in you, whether they're in the audience, whether there are faculty members, whether they're the ones who are just in the room because they had to be here today. They love hearing from you. So tweet us or twit or whatever it is. Text. We may not, we're going to try to spell it correctly when we send it back to you. But just stay in touch. I wish you, each and every one of you, nothing but success. Your success brings smiles to our faces. I wish you continued opportunities to learn. I wish you continued opportunities to study. More importantly, I wish you continued opportunity to be the best, because you are, and we're so grateful that you are a part of this legacy and part of this great university. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy every moment of the journey. It's a beautiful thing. Congratulations. Now I want to invite our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Winston Langley, to the podium to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor, and to Dean Jango and Senior Associate Dean Stephanie Hartwell, faculty colleagues, class of 2013, distinguished guests, parents, friends, well-wishers. As I reflected on what I might say to the class of 2013, many things suggested themselves. That which seemed most appropriate, however, is something I think all of us can easily share. If one were to examine the history of human efforts and strivings, part of the very striving which brought you to this university. It is that human beings have not been primarily guided by instinct, as has been argued, or nurtured by ready-made knowledge, as may be supposed, or instructed in their development principally through memory, as is sometimes thought. We have conceived and brought into being everything through our own imaginative and intellectual resources, in interaction, of course, with what we have come to call nature. Our food, our safety, insofar as we have had safety or have felt to be safe, our shelter, our amusement, our medicines, our way of doing and being what we have come to call culture, our symbol systems, our stored knowledge. We have also created convenient and sometimes death-inducing categories within which we have sought comfort. Categories which, very often over time, have been inadvertent walls. Race, ethnicity, family, neighborhood, gender, sexual orientation, religion, social class, tribe, country, professions, civilizations. They're all walls that have actually or prospectively shut us out from the rest of the world. Among the things I hope we have accomplished in your years with us, and as provost, I can speak to your academic accomplishments, but I hope, in addition, is that we have succeeded in sharpening and refining your capacities to recognize and make use of multiple alternatives in life, including the breaking down of these walls, increasing the alternatives for successive generations, and offering service to the public at large. Among those alternatives also, I hope is the self you have elected to nurture and further develop, and to develop against the many movements, the talks, the attractions, the appointments, the disappointments, the crowding contacts through the internet and otherwise, and against the disgraced, stooped, and alien thing it can become. Think of that better self you have imagined for yourself and have sought to develop. Give to it your loyalty. In it, you will always find residing your capacity for wonder, awe, beauty, and fairness, devotion, compassion, reverence, courage, and love. Congratulations to you and to your friends and well-wishers. Good evening.
Thank you, Chancellor, and thank you, Provost Winston Lanley. Accomplished graduates, we are gathered here today to celebrate a major milestone in your professional life. Tomorrow, you will officially become one of about 11.11% of the Americans 25 years and over with advanced degrees. Some of you will be among the 1.55% of the Americans who are doctorates. You are among the most educated citizens of the world. As this is an award ceremony, you are literally the best of the best. We are extremely proud of you. The journey to this point has been very long for some, sometimes very exciting, rewarding, and sometimes quite challenging. Some of you came to us from our surrounding neighborhoods. Most of you are from Massachusetts, and some of you came from very far away. Most of you were the first generation in your family to graduate from college and have to work to support yourself while pursuing your advanced degrees. Some of you have to work full-time to support a family, to complete your courses and other requirements for your degree in the evenings over the weekends. Against all odds, you have succeeded in completing all the requirements for an advanced degree. Congratulations, the soon-to-be doctors and masters and the proud graduates of UMass Boston. As you move on to change the world, you should be proud of what you have done and take a great pride in the University of Massachusetts, Boston. UMass Boston is still a very young institution, established in 1964 as one of the twin pillars of public higher education in Massachusetts. Offered the first 2 master's degrees in 1971, started the first doctoral program in environmental science in 1982. And yet, yes, we have the most diverse student population among all public four-year institutions in the entire New England. We have also been engaged in a persistent pursuit of excellence in what we do. You should know that UMass Boston is rising quickly as a distinguished public research university in the world capital of first-class higher education, knowledge creation, and technological innovation. In 1994, we were classified by the Carnegie Foundation as a master's comprehensive university and became a doctoral research university in 2000, a research university with a high research activity in 2010. Along the way, UMass Boston has established a wonderful tradition of breaking new ground. We launched the second PhD program in gerontology in the US in 1990. It has so far awarded more doctoral degrees than any other program in this field. About a third of its graduates are now professors at other institutions to help reshape the relatively young and fast-evolving discipline. We developed the first doctoral program in green chemistry in the world in 2002, and the first PhD program in global governance and human security in 2012. The first PhD program in global inclusion and social development is pending approval by the UMass Board of Trustees within a week. Many of our graduate programs are among the top tiers in the country. A couple of examples. Our nursing program is one of the top 3 and the best in a public university in New England. Our PhD program in clinical psychology, started only 24 years ago, has become one of the most competitive programs of its kind. Under 3% of the applicants get admitted each year. Our Center of Science and Mathematics in Context, established in 2004, has become an undisputed leader in science and mathematics education. And the outstanding leadership of distinguished Professor Arthur Eisencroft, COSMIC has secured over $30 million for research and innovation in the last 9 years. Largely because of our COSMIC, the UMass Boston FY 2011 research and development expenditures in education was ranked 7th in the country. Their energy education project has become part of a national energy literacy initiative. The American Academy for the Advancement of Science has recently awarded Professor Brian White in biology the Science Prize for Inquiry-Based Instruction. The Boston Science Partnership, led by Professor Hannah Servian in chemistry, was reported in the Science magazine as a national model for science education. Professor Robert Chen, another innovator and champion of science education, now serves as the chair of the Council for a National Network of Centers for Ocean Science and Education Excellence. Professor Kristen Wendell of Curriculum and Instruction, the newest member of our dream team in science and mathematics education, has shown so much promise, established such a strong record as a junior faculty member. The National Science Foundation has recently selected her for one of the most prestigious career awards. Congratulations. The John Joseph Moakley Chair Professor of Peace and Reconciliation in the McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Global Studies, Patrick O'Malley, and his colleagues in conflict resolution have had an enormous impact on resolving international conflicts, promoting world peace. As a result, our master's program in conflict resolution is gaining worldwide recognition. 2 Fulbright Fellows will be joining us in September. I also wish to confirm your personal experience and observations that UMass Boston has a truly outstanding faculty and very dedicated staff. Many of our faculty members are leading scholars of their disciplines. They could shine brightly at any premier research universities, but they choose to be here because of our mission and students. Some of you have taught by a Pulitzer Prize winner, Professor Lloyd Schwartz in English. Professor Paul Tucker was recognized as one of America's foremost authorities on Claude Monet and Impressionism. Professor Jacqueline Fawcett was elected by her peers as one of the top 20 most influential people in the nursing field. The world's first and the highest honor in sustainability, the Gunnerus Sustainability Gold Medal from the Royal Norwegian Society of Science and Letters, was awarded to our distinguished professor, Kamal Bawa, in biology. Earlier this month, Professor Karen Suyamoto in psychology and Asian American studies was one of 15 women honored by the White House as the Champions of Change. In January of this year, Professor Jeffrey Bird, Chair of Gerontology, was appointed as the new editor-in-chief of a premier international journal, Research on Aging. Professor Hyoka Lee in nursing was elected as the Fellow of American Academy of Nursing this year. 3 of our faculty members, Professor Ellen Douglas in the School for the Environment, Professor Eve Sorum of English, and Professor Pratush Bharati of Management Science and Information Systems, were recently selected as Fulbright scholars to spend 6 to 12 months in Australia, India, and Western Africa to share their expertise and to conduct collaborative research. If you are a faculty member or a graduate student in clinical psychology, you have most likely benefited from, I quote, the outstanding, almost incomprehensible service by one of our most competent and exceptionally dedicated staff member, Deborah Cohen, at the University Counseling Center. She has gone much beyond the core of duty to serve your needs and the needs of the entire university, even when she was literally the only clinical staff member at the University Counseling Center to serve the entire institution. Thank you for your wonderful service. The list can go on and on. We're also very fortunate and thankful for having many of the best students like you. About 2 months ago, Angela Erb, a new doctoral student in our School for the Environment, under the supervision of Professor Crystal Schaff, was awarded a distinction for her master's thesis by the faculty at the University of Zurich, a premier international research university. 3 of our current graduate students have won the most prestigious National Science Graduate Research Fellowships this year. Joseph Cohen in computer science, advised by Professor Wei Din. Amy Haberly in clinical psychology, advised by Professor Alice Carter. Alan Stebbins in the School for the Environment, advised by Professor Robin Hannigan. Mr. Uttam Babu Shrestha, a current graduate student in biology, supervised by distinguished Professor Kamal Bawa, has already published more than 12 papers in refereed journals, including both of the most influential science magazines, Science and Nature, a lifetime pursuit for many. You will soon join close to 100,000 UMass Boston alumni to make a difference around the world, to help shape the future of UMass Boston through your individual and collective accomplishments. Among them, you will also find numerous success stories. Dr. Ann Gross, a graduate of our PhD program in nursing in 2010, now serves as Vice President for Adult Nursing and Clinical Services at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Dr. Andrew Hodgson, one of the first graduates of our PhD program in environmental science, is currently leading the Water and Ocean Governances program at the United Nations. Dr. Bei Wu, a graduate of our PhD program in gerontology in 2000, is now a professor of nursing and global health at Duke University and the chair of the Research Committee on Health Sciences of the Gerontological Society of America. Many superintendents and principals in Massachusetts public schools came out of our doctoral program in education. The latest news that we received at 12:56 p.m. today. Governor Patrick had appointed Karen Daniels, a graduate student of our doctoral program in leadership in urban schools, to the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Congratulations to all. The longest serving and most popular mayor of our city, Mayor Thomas Menino, is also a graduate of UMass Boston. So are the former chief of police of LA and police commissioner of New York City and Boston, the executive director of the Massachusetts Water Resources Authority, and President Barack Obama's nominee for the administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. I know you will follow their examples, put what you have learned here into very effective use so that you can make a wonderful living, change the lives of others, lead the transformations of your institutions, organizations, and communities. Working together, we can create a much better world. We can make UMass Boston a leader of public higher education. I wish you all the very best. I look forward to hearing more of your success stories. Thank you. Provost Lonnie, it's now my great pleasure to present to you the candidates for the doctoral degree. The candidates will be presented by college. Will Felicia Welzinski, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, please come forward to present the 10 candidates for the Doctoral of Education degree.
Thank you. Our first candidate is Kimberly Burns from the Higher Education Administration Program. Her dissertation title was Faculty Sense-Making and Transformative Learning, Working to Advance Community College Student Learning Through the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. And her advisor was Professor John Saltmarsh. Is she here? Come here. Our next candidate is Heather Gilmore, also in the Higher Education Administration Program. Her dissertation title is College Athletic Participation and Academic Success, How Student Athletes Compete for Graduation. And her advisor was Professor John Saltmarsh. You're up again. Yes. So, our next candidate is Andre Ray Reyes from the Higher Education Administration Program. His dissertation title, Journeys to Transformation, South Sudanese Refugees Negotiate Community College Education in Massachusetts. And his advisor was Professor John Saltmarsh. Next candidate is Alan Cron. From the Leadership in Urban Schools program, his dissertation was titled From Legislation to Implementation, Distributing Leadership in Response to the Massachusetts Anti-Bullying Law of 2010. And his advisor was Professor Joseph Check. Next candidate is Mara Walsh, also from Leadership in Urban Schools. Her dissertation is titled Teacher-Reported Job Satisfaction and Teacher-Reported Understanding of the Valuation Process, an exploratory mixed methods case study of one urban public school district. And her advisor is Professor Joseph Check. Next candidate is Diane Palter Gill from the Higher Education Administration Program. Her dissertation is titled Non-Credit and Credit Divisions in Community Colleges, the Dilemma of Multiple Organizational Identities. And her advisor is Professor J.D. Next candidate is Jules Tetreault from the Higher Education Administration Program. His dissertation is titled College Student Retention, a Self-Determination Perspective. Jules' advisor, Professor Kati Lenny, sends her regrets that she cannot be here today to personally share this moment with Jules. Kati and her husband recently welcomed a new baby daughter. And so Professor J.D. has the honor of putting Jules. The next candidate is Susan Miller from the Higher Educational Administration Program. Her dissertation is titled Culturally Relevant Pedagogical Practice Among White College Faculty, a Narrative Study. And her advisor is Professor Tara Parker. Our next candidate is Minna Reddy from Educational Leadership in Urban Schools. Her dissertation is titled Being a Good Student, Conceptions of Identity by Adult Basic Education Participants Transitioning to College. And her advisor was Professor Tara Parker. You're on. And finally, Pandora Carlucci from the Higher Education Administration Program. Her dissertation is titled Understanding the Full-Time and Non-Tenure Track Faculty Appointment. And her advisor is Professor Judith Gill.
Thank you. Will Emily McDermott, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, please come forward to present 9 candidates for the Doctoral of Philosophy degree.
Good afternoon. Our first candidate from the College of Liberal Arts is Leandra Godoy. Her dissertation title is Linking Universal Development Behavioral Health Screening and On-Site Mental Health Consultation, Examining Gaps in Service Delivery. Her advisor is Professor Alice Carter, and I just can't restrain myself from saying that I had the pleasure of coaching this accomplished young lady in soccer from the time she was 9 years old to the time she was 15. Couldn't help it. That's it. Our next candidate is Susan A. Lamb Saranana from Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is Understanding Ethnic Racial Socialization and Cognition Among Multiracial Youth, a Mixed Methods Study. Her advisor is also Professor Alice Carter. Our next candidate is Nicholas D. Meehan from Clinical Psychology. Nicholas's dissertation title is Targeted Prevention of Childhood Anxiety, Engaging Parents in an Underserved Community, and his advisor is Professor Alice Carter. Our next candidate is Christian Chan from Clinical Psychology. His dissertation title is Measuring Exposure in Natural Disaster, a meta-analysis, an integrative data analysis, and a multi-wave longitudinal study of Hurricane Katrina survivors. His advisor is Professor Jean Rhodes. Our next candidate is Sarah E. O. Schwartz of Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is Youth-Initiated Mentoring, Investigating a New Approach to Working with Vulnerable Adolescents. Her advisor is Professor Jean Rhodes. Our next candidate is Liza Zwiebach from Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is The Role of Men's Friendships in Psychological Distress, Fear of Emotions, and Adherence to Masculine Role Norms. Her advisor is Professor Jean Rhodes. Our next candidate is Kelly Grayling of Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is The Impact of Emotion Regulation and Interpersonal Problems on Behavioral Dysregulation in a college student's sample, an investigation of the mediating role of mentalizing. Her advisor is Professor Joan Leem. Our next candidate is Hercelia B. Corona of Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is Experiences of Latina First-Generation College Students, Exploring Resources Supporting the Balancing of Academic Pursuits and Family Life. Her advisor was Professor Esther Shapiro. And our final College of Liberal Arts candidate is Rebecca Norris Bell of Clinical Psychology. Her dissertation title is Bereavement Among Urban University Students, the Role of Meaning-Making in Adjustment to Loss. Her advisor is Professor Laurel Wainwright.
Thank you, Dean Montgomery. We are Anna Haidt Kowicki, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Please come forward to present the 2 candidates for the Doctoral of Philosophy degree and 5 candidates for the Doctoral of Nursing Practice degree.
Thank you, Dr. Chia. Our first candidate is Mary Jane O'Brien. Her dissertation title, The Association of the Level of School Wellness Policy, Implementation and School Nurse Activities to Weight Status of School Children in Massachusetts. Her advisor is Professor Laura Heyman. Our next candidate is Hermine Porosian. Her dissertation title is Racial Disparities in Health-Related Quality of Life Following Lung Cancer Surgery. Her advisor is Lisa Kennedy Sheldon. Our next candidate is Bonnie S. Cohen. She's doctorate in nursing practice. Her capstone title is Implementation of an Advanced Heart Failure Pathway in a Multi-Specialty Practice. Her advisor was Eileen Stewart-Shore. Our next candidate is Ellen Latour, nursing practice again. Her capstone title, Implementation of the Learned Weight Management Program in the primary care setting, utilizing shared medical vision to manage the components of metabolic syndrome in Hispanic women. Her advisor was Eileen Stewart-Short. Our next candidate is Tanya F. Osborne, again, nursing practice. Her capstone title, Implementation of a Worksite Nutrition and Physical Activity Program for Obesity Treatment and Prevention at a corporate office in Hugh Point, North Carolina. Her advisor was Professor Cheryl Lacoussier. Congratulations. Our next candidate is Marjorie M. Crabtree. Her capstone project is integrating home blood pressure monitoring into usual care of hypertensive patients. Her advisor is Margaret McAllister. Congratulations. Our next candidate is Vijayarani Suresh. Her capstone title, Implementation of a Comprehensive Education Program in a Primary Care Setting for Patients with Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease. Her advisor was Professor Karen Dick.
Thank you, Dean Kowicki. Well, Ira Jackson, Dean of the McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Graduate Studies, please come forward to present the 3 candidates for the Doctoral of Philosophy degree.
Thank you, Vice Provost. The first of 3 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the John W. McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Global Studies is Dale Allen, Public Policy. Dissertation title, The Economic Relationships Between Institutions of Higher Education and Municipalities. Advisor, Professor Christian Weller. Way to go, Dale. Our second candidate, Kimberly J. Johnson, Gerontology. Dissertation title, Volunteering Among Surviving Spouses, the Impact of Volunteer Activity on the Health of the Recently Widowed. Advisor, Professor Jan Muchler. Our third candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree, Sunga Lee, Gerontology. Dissertation title, Disability Status and Living Arrangements Among Asian Older Adults in the United States. Advisor, Professor Jan Muchler. Oh, very good.
Thank you, Dean Jackson. Will Andrew Grosowski, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, please come forward to present 6 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree?
Thank you and good afternoon. I'm pleased to present candidates from the College of Science and Math. The first is Adal Abibi, Molecular Cell and Organismal Biology. His dissertation title was Biochemistry of 1,2-dihydro and acetyl dopamine derivatives, and his advisor is Sugu. Our next recipient is Angeliki Avienidou from Environmental Earth and Ocean Sciences. Her dissertation title is Describing Species Environmental Relations for Macrobenthic and Microphytobenthic Community Structure using Constrained Ordination and Predicting Environmental Variables from Species Composition. Professor Eugene Gallagher served as her advisor. Next candidate is Swaminathan Iyer from Computer Sciences. Dissertation title, Evolutionary Dynamics on Complex Networks, Professor Timothy Killenbach. Next candidate, Quang Pham from Computer Science. Dissertation title is Enabling Techniques for Surveillance Sensor Networks, Professor Duc Tran. Next candidate is Sui Cheng Wang, Computer Sciences. Dissertation title is Computational Modeling of Eye Movements from Reading to Scene Viewing, advised by Professor Mark Pomplin. Our next candidate is Zixuan Zhang from chemistry, and the dissertation title is The Development of Fluorescent Probes for Cancer Cell Lines and Research on Catalytic Reactions under the supervision and advice of Professor Wei Zhang.
Thank you, Dean Grosowski. Will all doctoral candidates please rise? Chancellor Motley, Provost Delany, and honored guests, I present to you the 5 candidates for the Doctoral of Nursing Practice degree, 10 candidates for the Doctoral of Education degree, and 20 candidates for the Doctoral of Philosophy degree.
Chancellor Motley, as recommended by the faculty of the University of Massachusetts, Boston, it is my honor to confer on you the hood of Doctor of Education, Doctor of Nursing Practice, or Doctor of Philosophy. And I welcome you to the Fellowship of Scholars as your faculty's colleagues and peers. Congratulations. Will all the doctoral candidates please turn and face the audience and give a round of applause to family, friends, faculty who helped you here today.
Please be seated. UMass Boston has a great tradition of bringing intellectual resources to bear on issues of public concern and global significance. Recently, Padraig O'Malley, the John Joseph Moakley Chair Professor of Peace and Reconciliation in the McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Global Studies, hosted a forum for cities in transition from conflict in Kirkuk, Iraq. Today, we are very pleased to welcome a great partner of UMass Boston in maximizing our global impact, a courageous fighter for freedom and peace, an effective leader in conflict resolution, peace building, and community development, and a wonderful role model for all of us. Mr. Ari Najmuddin Mohammed Jabari, founder and the president of Insan Iraqi Society for Relief and Development. Would Mr. Jabari please come to the podium as the Chancellor Motley presents the Chancellor's Medal to you. Also, would Dean Jackson and Professor O'Malley please come forward to assist.
Before I bestow the 2013 Chancellor's Medal for International Peace and Reconciliation on our esteemed guest, an individual whose life and accomplishments are a model for the values our university holds dear, I'd like to thank the McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Global Studies, and also Professor Porrick O'Malley for nominating Mr. Jabari for this honor. Let's give them a round of applause. Ari Nobuddin Mohammed Jabari, founder and president of Insan Iraqi Society for Relief and Development, you personify Iraq's best hope for order, stability, and a working democracy. You have demonstrated bravery and resilience during the worst phase of the war at great personal risk and have been working your advocacy for human rights. As the on-the-ground coordinator for the October 2012 Forum for Cities in Transition from Conflict held in Kirkuk, Iraq, you enthusiastically embraced the monumental task of organizing and coordinating this event and ensuring its successful completion. Relentless in your determination to overcome the many obstacles to the success of the conference, you demonstrated virtuosity in mediating differences among the Kurds, Arabs, Turkmen, Shia, Sunnis, and other minorities within the Kirkuk Provincial Council. It was through your efforts that Kirkuk was able to live up to its promise to provide adequate security for all who attended the conference. Over the years, you have persisted in advocating for women's rights, in mediating conflicts, and in passing on to others your wisdom and skills in conflict resolution and peacemaking. You have done so despite threats to your life within the most volatile province of a strife-ridden Iraq. In your words and deeds, you have demonstrated your firm commitment to continue to work with the university's John Joseph Moakley Chair for Peace and Reconciliation. That all may know of our respect and esteem for your dedication, commitment, and service to your community in the name of peace, we are pleased to confer upon you the Chancellor's Medal for International Peace and Reconciliation of the University of Massachusetts, Boston.
Thank you, Chancellor. Congratulations, Mr. Jabari. Thank you for what you do. Each year, The Office of Graduate Studies presents the Chancellor's Distinguished Master's Thesis Award for the master's thesis deemed most outstanding by a university-wide faculty committee. This year, the Chancellor's Distinguished Master's Thesis Award goes to Hillary Jane Hurst in Clinical Psychology. Her advisor is Professor Abby Eisenhall. Her thesis title is Exposure to Potentially Traumatic Events, Emotional Adjustment, and Social Competency in Preschoolers Facing Economic Risk.
That was important.
Yes. This year, 3 Chancellor's Distinguished Doctoral Dissertation Awards are being presented, one each in the biological life sciences, the social sciences, and the physical sciences. The Chancellor's Distinguished Doctoral Dissertation Award in Biology and Life Sciences goes to Angelique Eve Anido in the PhD program in Environmental, Earth, and Ocean Sciences. Her advisor is Professor Eugene Gallagher. He wants to take a picture with the Chancellor. With the Chancellor. The Chancellor's Distinguished Doctoral Dissertation Award in the Social Sciences goes to Sarah Lowe in Clinical Psychology. Her advisor is Professor Jean Rose. The Chancellor's Distinguished Doctoral Dissertation Award in the Physical Sciences goes to Abba Sood in Chemistry, Biochemistry track. Her advisor is Mariana Torok. Dr. Sood has already started a postdoctoral fellowship in Houston, so cannot be with us today. We will mail her the award. Congratulations to all. My ancestors have told us, always think 3 times before you act. I know one of our accomplished graduates have been doing a lot of wise contemplation and effective action in order to achieve his personal goals and to maximize his positive impact on the people and the organization he serves. It is now my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Dr. Christian Chan.
How's it going? Chancellor Motley, provosts, deans, associate deans, professors, faculty members, family members, and friends, fellow graduates. It is really an honor to stand before you to share a few remarks. When I was a child, my parents taught me that I ought not to sacrifice my life for a lifestyle. We do a lot of things to chase after a lifestyle that we think would make us happy. We get certain kind of jobs so that we can buy certain things, be a member of certain clubs, go to certain places for vacation. But countless number of thinkers, authors, teachers, contemporary and ancient, has taught us that these things do not bring us true happiness. They are but futile attempts to satisfy our desires, our anxiety, our insecurity. Too easily we get manipulated. A few ads here and there, an unexpected event here or there, one or two, can change what we perceive as the desired lifestyle. The chase is futile. A wise man once told me instead that to be fully alive is to contemplate. To be fully alive is to act. Contemplate so that our actions will not be in vain. Action without contemplation leads to frustration. Act so that we don't get caught in the spiral of quiet desperation, so that we don't bury our conscience, our dreams. Contemplation without action leads to depression. We admire those who are courageous enough to act when life calls them to. We also admire those whose actions are effective for a good cause that's beyond her fellow's vision. So to be fully alive is to contemplate. To be fully alive is to act. More now than ever before, contemplation and action are our responsibility. Today we come together to celebrate the fruits of opportunity, hard work, diligence, creativity, integrity, and virtue. An occasion like this helps us mark a chapter in our lives. This is a time for celebration. Today we also come together to honor those who guide us, mentored us, nudge us along the way to bring out the best of us. Our teachers, our mentors, family members, friends, and loved ones walked alongside with us, each in their own way. So may this piece of paper that we will be receiving tomorrow, yes, be a signifier, a reminder of that in the years to come. We stand on the shoulders of giants, including those in this very hall. Our teachers gave us their very best. They invest in us their precious time and energy. I recall around this time, around 14 years ago, days before I graduated from high school, a teacher reminded my class that the amount of resources invested in each and every one of us was sufficient to establish and run dozens of schools in Somalia. Imagine the number of children who would benefit from that. Imagine the number of families who would benefit from their children's education. My goodness, I thought, how can I ever repay that cause with my deeds? But I guess the point of that statement was not to haunt me into guilt, but rather to serve as a constant reminder of my privileges and my responsibilities. The opportunity cost for what was invested in me was far too great for me to live my life selfishly or to spend my time chasing after a particular lifestyle. Now, that was high school education. Imagine the amount of resources invested in us in this degree. I'm in no position to determine for another person what his responsibilities are. I believe we each have to answer to ourselves and to our conscience. But I do think we are in the position to remind each other of that aspiration. We face many imminent crises, some of unprecedented magnitude, and many have the potential to cause a lot of suffering. We might not agree on why they exist, but I hope we can agree that we all share the responsibility to help. Just a couple months ago, Boston witnessed tragic events. We continue to mourn with those who suffered and are still suffering. No one, absolutely no one, should ever have to endure that kind of pain. The empathy we saw in its aftermath is unquestionable. Our love for our neighbors is apparent and abundant. Boston fought darkness with light, despair with hope. Similarly, senseless and devastating events are occurring daily in different regions in the world. Civil war in Syria, collapsing factories in Bangladesh, famine in North Korea. We are taught to love and care for our neighbor, but who is our neighbor? How far does our empathy travel without the prompting of pictures of starving children? I struggle with that very question every day, especially in my commute to work. Every morning I listen to the news on RTHK of Hong Kong, NPR of the US, BBC World Service of the UK, and if I'm caught in traffic, NHK of Japan. 99% of the reports are depressing. They're about how we kill each other, about Mother Nature's vengeance on us, about how we cheat each other, how we steal from each other. It's tiring, it's frustrating. I don't know what I can do. So more often than not, I just want to run away and bury myself in my own work. But every now and then, some of these issues would stir up something within me and prompt me to act. I might join a protest. I might sign a petition. I might donate money. I might join an awareness-raising campaign. I might even go to a disaster zone. Over the years, I've jumped from one cause to another, each time feeling passionate about the immediate event, but it never took long for the feeling of frustration to creep in, for the passion to dissipate, and for my focus to be distracted to yet another cause. This was also reflected in my frequent relocations. In the past 13 years, I've moved from Hong Kong to Montreal, from Montreal to Tokyo, Tokyo back to Montreal, from Montreal to Kobe, before coming to Boston, and later New York. Restlessness. Action without contemplation leads to frustration. So as I grow a little bit older, learning to examine myself daily, my intentions, my desires, my vulnerability, I might be more honest with myself in terms of my strengths and weaknesses. I'm also beginning to recognize the importance of matching who I am, my talents, my desires, my limitations, with the needs of the world. That intersection, you see, between our desires and the need of the world is our calling. And we each have a calling. It is up to us to respond to it. And we are to respond to it within the context of our world. A theologian once wrote, "The place God calls us to is a place where our deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." Completing this degree in clinical psychology is, in a way, a commitment to this profession, that I will use the skills I have to help those who are suffering. That is not to say I do not concern myself with other needs that are not within the realm of my expertise. Rather, I'm learning to be more strategic, to maximize my contribution. Parallel to that, by moving back to Hong Kong, I'm also committing to my city and my community. Finally, I'm brave enough, after 13 years of wandering, to say that I'm staying for good. I'm saying I'm willing to respond to the needs of this city, regardless of the lifestyle it affords. I had to give up cycling. I breathed in toxin. Hong Kong's needs are now my responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, when we answer the call of life to contemplate and to act, we are fully alive. We each have our unique gifts and privileges, and our hearts may respond to different needs in the world in different places. But I hope we can each commit to contemplation and action, because that's both our privilege and our responsibility. Whatever you do, please do your very best. Be your very best and most importantly, give your very best. Take good care of yourselves, your loved ones, and your neighbors, near and afar. Encourage one another, be encouraged. Embrace one another, and be embraced. So thank you very much, and may God continue to bless us all.
It's my first time up here as Senior Associate Dean, and normally it would be a very, very bad thing to do for your first time up here to sort of veer off the script. But I'm going to, just for a very brief moment, and you should too sometimes in your life. I wanted to thank the Office of Graduate Studies and Graduate Admissions and the staff at UMass Boston for supporting this lovely event today. We've had a lot of changes recently, and it's hard to pull off these events, so I particularly wanted to note Jim Mortensen and Robert Bobeck, whose official retirement is today. And for any of you who know Bob Bobeck, many of you who get paid by the university and you have your assistantships through the university should know Bob Bobeck. So I want to just give a moment and say thank you to the staff in Office of Graduate Studies and Graduate Admissions. They're wonderful. It is now my great pleasure and honor to present the recipients of academic honors in our graduate programs. These awards will be conferred by the deans, directors, and representatives of our graduate programs. Individual programs may have additional awards that have been awarded at other events. Many of these are also noted in the program that you have. Will Felicia Wazinski, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, please come to this book stage. So you grab the book. The book. The award for Outstanding Achievement in School Counseling is awarded to Len Peters and is presented by Laura Hayden. The award for Excellence in Educational Administration is awarded to Brian Johnson and is presented by Professor Anita Brown. The award for Outstanding Achievement in School Psychology is awarded to Maisha Kuhlman and is presented by Professor Terry Bontrager. The Vincent Cristini Award for Leadership in School Psychology is awarded to Cynthia Estrema and is presented by Terry Bontrager. The award for Excellence in Learning and Teaching and Educational Transformation is awarded to Caitlin McCormick and is presented by Professor Peter Taylor. The award for Excellence Learning, Teaching, and Educational Transformation is awarded to Caitlin McCormick. Is that Caitlin? Felicia. Okay, the award for Teacher Education Program for Excellence in Early Childhood Education is awarded to Kimberly Gordon and is presented by Professor Lisa Gonzalez. Lisa. The Teacher Education Program Award for Excellence in Elementary Education is awarded to Marisha Gadowski and is presented by Professor Lisa Gonzalez. The Teacher Education Program Award for Excellence in Middle and Secondary Education is awarded to Yusuf Hamden and is presented by Professor Betty Davidson. The award for Excellence Performance in Special Education is awarded to Dean Grubb and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Family Therapy is awarded to Cara McClaney and is presented by Professor Gonzalo Basalupe. Will William Kiernan, Dean of the College of Global Inclusion and Social Development, come to the podium? The Vision Studies Institute for Community Inclusion Award for Academic Excellence in Orientation and Mobility is awarded to Ralph Malestra and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The Vision Studies Institute for Community Inclusion Award for Academic Excellence, Teacher of Students with Visual Impairment, is awarded to Elizabeth Borzeritz and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The Vision Studies Institute for Community Inclusion Award for Academic Excellence in Vision Rehabilitation and Therapy is awarded to Daniel Norris and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. And the Book Award for Rehabilitation Counseling is presented to Christina Hicks by Professor Laura Bozeman. Will Emily McDermott, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, please come to the stage? The award for Academic Excellence in American Studies is awarded to Andrew Lester and is presented by Professor Aaron Leckletter. The award for academic excellence in applied linguistics is awarded to Catherine Eniger and is presented by Professor Charles Meyer. The Creative Writing Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Kristen Hill and is presented by Professor John Fulton. The English Program Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Matthew Hitchcock and is presented by Professor Eve Sorum. The Anne E. Berthoff Prize for Excellence in Composition Studies is awarded to Lindy Bridget and is presented by Professor Eve Sorum. The David A. Kennedy Prize for Outstanding Work in the Field of Poetry is awarded to Mark Schockenneck and is presented by Professor Eve Sorum. The Alvin S. Ryan Award for Best Literature Paper is awarded to Bradley Smith and is presented by Eve Sorum. The Robert Crossley Award is awarded to Melody Anderson and is presented by Eve Sorum. The History Program Book Award for Excellence is awarded to Charles Carroll and is presented by Professor Elizabeth McCahill. The Barbara E. Lutke Thesis Award for Excellence in Historical Archaeology is awarded to Joseph Bagley and is presented by Professor John Steinberg. The award for academic excellence in Latin and classical studies is awarded to Madeline Koletsky and is presented by Professor Jackie Carlin. The Book Award for Psychology is presented to Fannie Mae, and his award is presented by Karen Ciamoto. The Maxwell J. Schliffler Memorial Prize is presented to Francis D. L. Martinez Pedraza in clinical psychology and is presented by Professor Alex Carter. don't know that it was written out.
Correct the name.
Fanny Ing, Psychology Book Award. I'm sorry, it was written out. The award for academic excellence in applied sociology is awarded to Amanda Lee Akanian and is presented by me, Professor Hartwell. The James E. Blackwell Prize in Applied Sociology is awarded to Diego Gomez Aristoval, I do know your name, Diego, and is presented by thesis advisor Glenn Jacobs.
This person got skipped.
Okay. Will Philip Quaglieri, Dean of the College of Management, please come to the stage? The Masters of Science Award for Academic Excellence in Accounting is awarded to Quinn Wan and is presented by Professor Maureen Scully. The Master of Business Administration Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Nicholas Scott Stewart and is presented by Maureen Scully. The Master of Science Finance Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Ying Li and is presented by Maureen Scully. The Master of Science in International Management Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Semia Baghdadi and is presented by Maureen Scully. The Master of Science in Information Technology Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Joseph D. Vivo and is presented by Maureen Scully. Good. Will Anahid Kulwicki, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, please come to the stage? The Master of Science Award for Academic Excellence in Nursing is awarded to Catherine Bonecco and is presented by Professor Amy Rex Smith. Oh, sorry. I know. The Doctor of Philosophy Award for Academic Excellence in Nursing is awarded to Hermine Pogzayan and is presented by Professor Jacqueline Fawcett. The Doctor of Nurse Practitioner Award for Academic Excellence in Nursing is awarded to Ellen Latour and is presented by Professor Eileen Stewart Shore.
You missed this one. You need to make her later.
Yeah, I have it. Will Ira Jackson, Dean of the McCormick Graduate School of Policy and Global Studies, please come to the stage? The award for Outstanding Achievement in Conflict Resolution is awarded to Tal Lieber and is presented by Professor Eben Weitzman. The Gerontology Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Kimberly Johnson and is presented by Professor Jan Mulchler. The Richard A. Hogarty Award for Academic Excellence in Public Affairs is awarded to Stacy Randall and is presented by Professor Connie Chan. The award for Academic Excellence in Masters of Science in Public Affairs, International Affairs is awarded to Kyle James, MG, and is presented by Professor Samuel Barkin. Will Anna Madison, Dean of the College of Public and Community Service, please come to the stage? I know. Thank you, though. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Human Services is awarded to Daniel Aislinn and is presented by Professor Sylvia Mignon. Will Andrew Gosofsky, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, please come to the stage? The Biology Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Jennifer Curtis and is presented by Professor Linda Wong. The Bettina Harrison Award for Outstanding Teaching in Biology is awarded to Nurmil Pudel and is presented by Linda Wong. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Molecular, Cellular, and Organismal Biology is awarded to Abdal Abib and is presented by Linda Wong. The Chemistry Program Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Christine Lee Chiffone and is presented by Professor Michelle Foster. The Green Chemistry Program Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Xingjuan Zhang and is presented by Professor Wei Zhang. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Computer Science is awarded to Swiminathan Iyer and is presented by Professor Dan Simovici. The Doctor of Philosophy Award for Outstanding Achievement in Environmental, Earth, and Ocean Sciences is awarded to Angeliki Evanju and is presented by Professor Eugene Gallagher. And Ellen Douglas. The Master of Science Award for Outstanding Achievement in Environmental, Earth, and Ocean Sciences is awarded to Lars Andreas and is presented by Professor Alan Gauntz. The Applied Physics Program Award for Excellence is awarded to Lubija Petrovic and is presented by Professor Gopal Rao. Will Philip DeSalvio, Dean of the College of Advancing and Professional Studies, please come to the stage? The award for Academic Excellence in Instructional Design is awarded to Cheryl Millman and is presented by Judith Erdman and Betsy Bateman, or Judith Erdman. The Critical and Creative Thinking Award for Personal and Professional Development is awarded to Terrell Cartwright and is presented by Professor Peter Taylor. So that's almost it, but I did miss one. So I'd like to bring Dean Felicia Wojcinski back to the stage. An award. The Vincent Christini Award in Applied Scholarship in School Psychology to Lindsay B. Bastable, and it's going to be awarded by Terry Bontrager. And I apologize. Congratulations, everyone.
I would also like to take this opportunity to add my great appreciation to the support team for putting this event together. First, Senior Associate Dean Steffi Hartwell, Jim Mortensen, I call him Commander-in-Chief, and Bob Boback, Inette Cameron, and her capable assistant, Ashley, and all the staff in graduate studies and graduate admissions. Thank you all. I also want to give a special thanks to John Jessel and his technical team. Keep everything working perfectly. Thank you. This concludes our 2013 Graduate Convocation Awards ceremony. You are all invited to join us at a reception in the student dining hall on the first floor of this building. Congratulations to all. Thank you all very much.